Live Vegas studios in Las Vegas. I sound very tinny. I don't know.
You sound real echoey.
There we go. How's that? Is that better, everybody? There we go.
That sounds better.
Hi
Sounds
there.
like
Shall
you're
we
not a
start
mile
again?
away.
Good morning, everybody. Welcome to another live edition of Thoughts Count Anywhere, coming to you live from the G.L.O.W Live Vegas studios in the heart of Las Vegas. Thank you for tuning in and making us part of your Saturday event adventures. We have as you can see, we have a new face with us. They always say that beauty is better than the beasts. So we are blessed to have someone of royalty joining us on today's show. The Royal Hawaiian, the original G.L.O.W, one of the original 8 G.L.O.W members and champion, April Hom joins us. Welcome to Thoughts Count Anywhere.
Thank you.
So good to have you.
Everybody.
Yeah,
It's 12 original girls.
oh, I thought I saw 8.
12. You might have only saw a picture of 8 of
Ah,
us,
that
but there
could
was
be why.
original 12.
There you go.
Yeah, a
So-
dozen of us.
There you go, a dozen. No baker's dozen?
No.
Okay. 702-329-6947. Press number 1 to come into the studio to talk to any one of us, but of course, importantly, chat with April. You can also call us if you're out of the country, 855-502-4321. Send us a live tweet using hashtag ThoughtsCountAnywhere. And of course, all of us have pretty much chat rooms working, and we'll be happy to share your thoughts and comments. We really would love for you guys to call in. Matt on the end, Chief, not Coach over here. You got April sitting in the DJ booth, our bell ringer, Mr. Jason and Aaron E. on the board. So welcome, everybody. All right. Woo, that was a long introduction. Welcome to Thoughts Count Anywhere.
Thank you.
Last time we had you on the show about a year ago, we had a terrible internet video connection. So I'm so glad we made this work that you happened to be in town and bring you in the studio.
Thank you.
This
I
is
think
so
it was
cool.
my end that was the problem with the internet, I think.
I don't know what it was, but
But we're here.
I was going to say, I'd rather do this. She's here in person and have you here with our gang. So,
Thank you for
Matt,
having me, guys.
how was your week, bud?
Pretty good. Just
Good week.
dealing with knuckleheads on Fremont.
I'm telling you, we ought to do an episode just on the knuckleheads down on Fremont Street.
Oh, do I have stories?
Good God have mercy.
That sounds like a new segment.
Oh,
This
it
is
could
my
be.
first time on Fremont Street. Can you
Oh,
believe
that's
that?
when you're down at the D, right?
I'm at the D Hotel, but I've never
nice.
been to Fremont Street. I've always been down on the Strip.
Wow. How is it? How is the D down there?
In Fremont Street?
Yeah, how
It's
is it?
right now. I mean, I don't know what it was like prior to COVID, but there's
Right.
people.
Milling around?
Yep, and shows, all the little side shows,
Oh,
and the
sure.
dancers, and all the girls.
No, the owner of the D, he's the guy that opened up the new Circa, right?
right.
Yeah,
So that's
okay.
where I'll be going tomorrow to watch the Saints game.
Oh,
Go
yes,
Saints!
there you go.
3:40
That
p.m.
sports book is crazy.
The TV screens are ginormous, and the
Biggest-
bars by the pool.
I was going to say, up at the pool.
Yeah.
Hey, we got a big football game today. Rams and the Green Bay Packers.
Yeah.
Go Rams!
Thank you, thank you.
What about Buffalo?
Who the hell cares?
That's right.
Now that my Niners are out, I can give two shits.
Exactly.
Welcome to the new sports segment called Who Gives Two Shits? We need Sledge's mug.
No. It's not called Who Gives Two Shits. It's Who Gives Zero Fucks.
Right, that's Sledge's mug, exactly.
I'm hoping for a Chiefs Saints rematch in the Super Bowl.
Really?
I want the Rams.
Yeah, because Drew Brees was hurt when we played them.
Yeah, that's true.
So,
Actually,
but we'll see.
Hawaiian,
Yes,
I would actually like to see Rams and Saints.
that'd be a good one too.
Because-
Because guess
Can't
what?
have them in the Super Bowl.
Rams Stadium.
That's the NFC
used to be
Championship,
my,
if
my
anything.
backyard.
Yeah, we need to see that in the NFC Championship because the game where the Rams made it with that bogus call that should have been called. It should have been the Saints and the Patriots. That was my thing about last Super
Yep.
Bowl. It should have
Yep.
been those two.
So
Chief, you look like you got some. You look like
Go
you're about
for
to.
it. Go for it.
Now, the Chiefs rant officially will happen at the bottom of the hour, but he looks like he's getting ready to rant mini right
He's
about
got
now.
something? No?
No, he's holding his tongue.
Ooh,
Okay.
tongue holder.
Chiefs are going to two-peat.
All right, guys, listen. This is not ESPN, although we can do that show as well, type of show. So what do you say we get started with? I Hear Voices. All right, first thing we have on deck here. Rumor is that Ricochet's contract is up and could be on his way out with the company. Where do you think he will land if that happens? Although, of course, Ricochet's denying. Chief.
Looking at Ricochet and the quality of wrestler he is, and he wasn't given the creative. Again, I'll go creative. WWE, thank you. I hope he goes to New Japan. I hope he goes overseas and goes to New Japan because I think he'd fit in there real well.
Matt, what do you think?
I want to see him go to AEW. I think their creative knows a little bit more what they're doing and what that guy can do, and he could be a top star in that company.
There you go. Jason.
Again, NXT. You come from NXT and you look awesome as hell, and then you're used like a piece of trash. Ricochet is one of those wrestlers, and Matt got me hooked on Ricochet. Because when I really didn't know much about Ricochet. Matt said, watch his matches. What a high flyer.
Yep.
The guy is so charismatic. And you're having him be a jobber and look like crap against
Retribution of all people.
Of all
dear
people
Lord.
is kicking his ass? Like,
Right.
really?
Now before we were talking on the show, April. You do follow still today.
I do. Actually, I think I'm more active in wrestling today than I was back in the G.L.O.W days.
Oh, okay.
You know, I mean, I was, but that was old timer. You know,
Yeah, sure.
Roddy Piper,
Different era. Yeah.
Different era.
Yeah.
So, you know, Ravishing Rick Rude, Dino Bravo, Andre the Giant. And then now it's, you know, Rollins or
Right.
Drew McIntyre, Roman Reigns. Yeah.
It's a whole different level.
Totally different. But
Right.
and then, of course, Charlotte and, you know, Bailey
Yeah.
and all the girls that are amazing.
I'm so glad you mentioned the ladies, Charlotte and company and Bailey.
Right.
Everybody talks about the Diva Revolution, 5 years ago, whatever it
Yeah.
was, right? I don't remember what the timetable. But
Diva.
as far as I'm concerned, G.L.O.W, I believe, was really the Divas. You weren't Divas per se, but putting ladies in the forefront in professional wrestling, I think really you guys were the trailblazers of what we now have been calling the Diva Revolution.
Well, you know, it's unusual because I recently had conversation with a couple wrestling fans, and after watching the women, I think it was not last week, but the week before, they did a 3-on-3, and it was Charlotte and Bailey and all
Right.
the six of them, and I was amazed. You know, they're just all the stuff that they do. I said, they're crazy. I mean, the amazing moves they do. I said, I would have never done half the stuff they did. And then the couple people that I talked to, they said, well, you know what? I would prefer to have watched you. And I was really, really shocked. And I thought, are you serious?
Right.
You wouldn't want to watch the WWE women today?
Sure.
And they said, we like it, but they're more like beautiful models, and they're all, you know, it's like that, where we were like old style
Right,
wrestlers.
right.
So it was a compliment. You know,
Sure.
I was just, you know, pleasantly surprised, but I was like, really? And they said, yeah. And
Right
these
on.
were like diehard wrestling fans.
Interesting perspective.
Yeah, yeah.
Chief.
I know Melissa.
Oh, yeah.
She was
Yeah.
she was one of y'all.
Yeah.
Did you all get any guidance or anything from like Mola or
You know what? We did not.
Mae Young? Nothing at all.
No, you know, the most that we did, because our Matilda the Hun was already
Right.
Queenie Kong, so she was already wrestling. Then we had Jasmine and Charlie, who were Salt and Pepper, and they were professional. Then, of course, a little bit later, we had Dallas, who was Killer Tomato, and we had Colonel Corporal Kelly,
Right.
and she was also, those were professional. They had already done that before G.L.O.W. So I would say ours pretty much was, we were flying by the seat of our pants, and we didn't learn any wrestling until we were trained by Mondo Guerrero, and then of course the input from the girls that were already wrestling. So as far as any of the old timers, not really. Too bad, but not really. Yeah, so it was a fun thing to experience, you know, and just kind of learn as we went along.
Okay.
Right on. Matt, before we move forward, we have this big picture of some guy who's known for yellow and red here on the desk. Why don't we talk about that for a moment while we have everybody's attention?
Sure, we're doing a giveaway for a Hulk Hogan picture. If you buy a piece of merch from our website, thoughtscountanywhere.com, if you send us a screenshot, we will put you in a drawing for a Hulk Hogan 16 by 20 certified authenticated picture.
There you go.
Okay, guys, you hear that?
ThoughtsCountAnywhere.com. Just simply click on the shop tab, and all of our new merch is up there. Do so. You know what? I think I got my Brody Lee T-shirt finally this week. I think Chief got his. I was trying to, but we, Chief and Kevin and Karrion Cross. There we go. Mine should be delivered today, but. How could we not? I could not acknowledge where I got this. Was at CAC 2 years ago.
I'm
right from
jealous.
April.
Yep.
You know, so
I got some new stuff. Once I get some new stuff, guys, hopefully we'll see how CAC is this year if we are fortunate enough to do that.
I'm taking it down only because I notice on the wide shot, it's like we're looking at Wilson from Home Improvement here when we're on the wide
okay.
shot. So that's all. I want everybody to see your face. They
Oh.
don't need to see ours. So, all right, let's go on to the next topic. Rumor has it WWE turned down signing Rush from Ring of Honor as his asking price was way too high. Jason, why don't you get us started with that one? I think everybody's price is way too high lately.
Well, it's not only that, but Rush is. I've seen him perform in Ring of Honor, so he is a good wrestler. But again, that's WWE not taking people who can actually wrestle and are good at wrestling.
Creative writing again.
You know,
It's the same stuff that we talk about now. This is the second time we've talked about it, and we're going to keep talking about it.
You know, the funny thing is, though, fellas and lady, that
It should be lady and fellas.
I got half-heimers today. I'm okay. Anyway,
You're just stunned. That's all it is.
Take a Hawaiian candy. It's guaranteed to cure you. Which, by the way, we invite her to come on our show. She brought us gifts.
Well, no.
anyway, what I was going to say, didn't WWE put out a lot of money for contracts a few months ago, and now they're not. Yeah, exactly. They're crying because they can't sign Rush. Give me a break. Come on.
Like, if he was able to sign with Ring of Honor, like, how much could his asking price possibly be?
Exactly.
Like, if
Good
Sinclair
point.
Broadcasting can afford him and Vince McMahon can't,
There's a problem.
there's a little something wrong with that.
I read somewhere, and I don't know if you guys saw the article, but something like the contracts that were being offered were like in the range of maybe $250,000. It was less than $1 million like the top stars get. I don't know. I could live on $250,000 easily right now, but maybe that's just me. So I want to put that in perspective. What was the earnings like for you when you were in G.L.O.W? Let's put this in perspective.
everybody always asks. They say, "Oh, did you guys make a lot of money?" And you know what? We didn't. I mean, I guess back then we thought we were, but then, hindsight and now looking what the girls make today, we were making peanuts. So it was a good gig for sure. But they didn't. I don't think they really knew what it was going to be like.
Right.
So we didn't really know, and there was nothing like it. So.
Uncharted territory.
Exactly, and they kind of worked it like a Hollywood production versus promotion in wrestling.
Right on.
So it was kind of different, and then I think as it's gotten, as time has gone on, of course, the women are now getting paid,
Right.
Good money. So it was okay. I mean, no
For the
complaints.
time.
For the time that we were. I mean, figure that was 34 years ago.
Wow.
So
it was adequate.
it was for then, I was 21, so the money was good, I
Right.
bought a brand new car, so it was, and then of course, we got other things out of it, and a lot of the girls did other things like, Hollywood hasn't stopped working
Right.
since G.L.O.W.
Sure.
And that's all not all she's done, but I mean, she's surrounded it in her production company and wrestling and all kind of other ventures and things like that. But a couple of the other girls have gone into, acting. We have Jungle Woman, who was a Raider cheerleader and Miss Illinois, and she's been an actress. She was on Price is Right, and she was a Barker's Beauty. And, so some of them went into really serious acting careers,
Sure.
And I, unfortunately, because of my injury, I ended up taking a totally different turn. And because I loved traveling so much, and I was going to lose my travel benefits as a dependent of my mother,
Right.
I went to work for the airline. So I worked for 25 years for United Airlines, and that was what I did. And I tell people now, because they say, well, why didn't you go back to Vegas? And I said, you know what, back then, nobody even suggested it.
Right.
I didn't even think of it. And we said, I could have become a manager. I
Right.
could have been a commentator. I
Sure.
could have done behind the scene interviews. And so everybody says, well, why didn't you do something else? I said, we didn't know what to do.
All right, we have a
Yeah.
couple of hellos that are popping in the chat room before we go to our last topic and break. Sam Weissman says hello in here. He's one of our followers. Samuel Weissman, thank you.
That's my buddy Sam.
Michelle Rodriguez, Michelle Von Kempen Rodriguez.
Michelle Van Kempen. She's here locally in Vegas.
Oh, okay.
I call them my cousins. Her brother used to come to the G.L.O.W matches here at the Riviera.
Oh, wow.
And
I
if you
think
ever
we have a
see any of
picture.
them-
I think we
You
have a
do?
picture of the marquee that you sent. So
Hi,
we'll pop
Jeannie.
those up in the meantime. She says in here, love you, Hula sister. Jeff
Yep.
Bronk, who also is from the industry and a big fan of our show, he asked, who was your favorite girl that you worked against?
That I worked against. Well, I always say against in a match. I always liked wrestling Dallas. We had tag team because she was an experienced wrestler. So I always felt, oh, there I am.
We're popping up some pictures as
There's
you're
some
chatting.
pictures of me as we're chatting. Oh, there I am with our referee, Frank Diamata. Dallas was just a great experienced wrestler. When you have someone like that, it just is so much more fun
Sure,
and
'cause you had that
easier.
chemistry.
Exactly. So I would say her. A lot of people ask, well, who would I have liked to wrestle? And I would have liked to wrestle with Jungle Woman as a tag team partner, which I never got an opportunity to do. Yeah, there I am. But some people always ask, oh, well, would you have liked to wrestle with her? I said, yeah, because we were both like islandy type characters. And then the other one would have been Godiva. Everybody always asks,
okay.
would you ever tag team with her? And I said, you know what? Yeah, except I wasn't around,
Well, you know what? You see in some of the pictures that we're showing when you were active in G.L.O.W,
Right.
you talked about it being more of like a Hollywood TV production. And you can see in some of those pictures the glamour shots of Hollywood in some of those.
Right.
Rather than, like you said, rather than the marketing of wrestling,
Right.
it was marketing of the show. All right, what I want to do is we're going to step aside for our first break. It is that time. I got to pay a couple of bills. So we want to thank you for watching Thoughts Count Anywhere. We appreciate you making us part of your day. We'll be back in 60 seconds.
It's not the worst podcast ever, is it? It's the best podcast. Thoughts Count Anywhere. All your wrestling news, all your hobbit all your gimmickry. Go on over, listen wherever your podcasts are downloaded. The Thoughts Count Anywhere podcast. I'm the big LG Doc Ellis. That's my endorsement. Booyah!
This is John Cena. I just wanted to send you a congratulations on your podcast. Thoughts count anywhere. Because indeed they do. Thoughts are important. I mean, what would we do without them? And how can they not count anywhere? Is there a place that thoughts don't count? I can't think of one. Well, I just wanted to say thank you very much, congratulations, and good luck on the podcast. Thoughts count anywhere, because they do.
All right, welcome back to Thoughts Count Anywhere. Coming right out of break, I have a question in the chat room, but we have a caller on the line that called in.
Thank you.
So, caller, name and where you're calling from, please. Thank you for calling.
Hello?
Hello?
Hello. Welcome,
Hey, it's Sal. I'm Sal in New York.
Sal from
Hi,
New York.
April. How you doing today?
Hey, Sal, how you doing?
Good,
Aloha.
my friend. How you doing? It's nice to talk to you on the phone.
You too, since I only talked to you on Facebook Live and Messenger. Thank you for calling in.
Yo, Sal,
absolutely.
send me some cheesecake, will you, from Junior's, please?
Yes, me too.
I'll do my best.
Cheesecake is my favorite. So thanks for all your love and support, Sal. I appreciate it. You're so wonderful.
Absolutely.
Thanks so much. We're hoping to get to
Absolutely.
the East Coast. Hopefully, if the COVID gets a little better, we'll be out on the East Coast soon, hopefully.
I'll tell you where we get the best sandwiches.
Oh, well, you know what? I'm all for eating. I love to eat.
Me too.
Yeah.
Right on, Sal. Thank you so much for calling
Thanks
in.
for calling in.
You're very welcome. Love you, April.
Love you too, Sal. Talk to you soon.
There you go.
Have a
job.
good day.
Thank you, Sal. All right, question in the chat room popped up, and then we've got a couple of questions specific for. I keep hitting this thing. I'm not used to the
Sorry.
arm here. No, it's me. I'm not used to the arm here. Christopher Acosta says, "Hi, April. How would you have fared one-on-one versus Debbie or Susie? They were the high-flying cheerleaders."
Well, you know what? That's a good. No one's ever asked me that. Unfortunately, I never
You
had
come to this show, we get the best questions for our guests.
Thanks, Christopher, for calling in. Actually, or writing in. Susie Spirit and Debbie Debutante were two of the girls that were dancers on the strip. They were in one of the shows.
Oh,
I
okay.
want to say it was Follies Berger at the
Okay,
Tropicana.
really? Sure.
Yeah, and so they were talented women, but of course when you see them as the cheerleaders, they're acrobatics and all of that. So they would have probably have been very exciting, but I would have been kind of scared because they were petite
Gotcha.
and tiny, but I probably could have threw them around a lot, but they were very exciting. Susie Spirit is the one who did the elbow where she had the compound fracture and her elbow
Gotcha.
popped out.
Ugh.
So they would have been fun. I think maybe Jungle Woman and I kind of would have maybe put them in their place.
There you go.
I could have tag team with
Wait a
them.
minute. Sounds like a little shoot there. Wait a minute. Wait a minute. We have breaking news here. We have a shooting challenge going out.
Yeah.
Cool.
Well, but both of those girls are very successful and doing well in
Sure.
today. But Susie Spirit today, she's an attorney. She has a couple nonprofits. She's a professor at UNLV.
We need to do it. I think we need to do a G.L.O.W. A reunion of
reunion.
everybody that's either in
Yeah.
town, or we can get them online and do an
That
entire
would be
G.L.O.W.
that would
show,
be
right?
fun. That would be
cool.
very fun. Hi, Jennifer.
Did you
So
ever-
hi, Kathy.
Did you ever wrestle Terry,
Terry.
the one that was the champion?
There are so many champions that she
Of
knows.
Glow?
Yeah.
Yeah. Terry Powers?
Got to alphabetize
No.
them.
Is that who it was?
I don't know who that is. Terry Powers?
Maybe I got
Not
half
Glow.
timers again.
Your
You might have
looks like
my-
your flower may fall out. I don't
Oh,
want you to
thank
lose it.
you.
All right, Matt, we have some questions. Why don't you start us off before we get into it? Listen, Chiefs Rant coming up in about 10 minutes.
With the like G.L.O.W. show, like being like what it was, like making G.L.O.W. like a whole like second resurgence. If they were to redo that show and like have the actual 12 women represented, who would you want to play you?
Ooh.
Does she have to be younger than me?
Not
You know who I
anybody.
would love to? I'd love for J.Lo to play me. She's like my idol. And like when she was in Selena, that's like one of my favorite movies.
Nice.
But realistically, we've talked about that with some people that say, "Oh, what if they did just what you said?"
Yeah.
And I think they said Tia Carrera. Is that her last name?
Yeah.
So, but I think she's still a little bit more in my age. So younger, I'd have to think about a younger girl. I don't know who else younger. I'm like looking at actresses that are kind of in my age range.
Yeah.
Well, so let's,
Or a little bit younger, maybe.
let's take a little twist to that question. It's a great question. Who from WWE or AEW or SmackDown from the women's division, if we went back 30 years to play you in that role from current wrestling? Let's try that one.
Well, I can
I mean,
tell you.
J.Lo 's not
I
a
could
bad
tell,
choice,
No,
okay?
but I could tell you who I'd like. I mean, she doesn't look like me. She doesn't. I don't think she would represent me. But I mean, I admire Tessa Blanchard.
Yes.
Tessa
There you
Blanchard is awesome. I mean, I really, really like her.
There you go.
But as far as maybe someone, I don't know.
Well,
Someone
that's okay.
that looks like-
Tessa's a good answer.
It's-
It doesn't have to be someone that looks like you.
Yeah, I mean, but I just
That
think
works.
I just think the attitude, and I've met her too, so I know her, and I've interacted
Sure,
with her, and I like her, but there's a lot of controversy. But I think because I was the bad girl and cheated and did all that kind of stuff, I think she could pull it off.
There you
Oh,
go.
yeah.
I think
And I
it's
would love to have a body like hers. that wouldn't hurt.
Aaron shares with us on the prompter that Tia Carrera is 54.
So then so she's older. So like if I had to maybe think of someone younger, I don't know. I'm gonna have to think about.
But she could
that
play
one.
you in like this phase of
Yeah,
your life.
like if they did flashbacks
Right.
of going,
Right.
current day, she could play me, and I'd have to think of
There
a
you
younger
go.
version of me. That's a good question. I don't know, you guys. You guys out there, think of someone in their like 20s, and
There you
give me a good suggestion on who. Hi, Dennis.
Jason, you have a question over there for April. I didn't mean to wake you up. Sorry.
No,
Jason.
you're fine. I was actually looking at the our
Oh.
feed here, and Christopher said it was Tina Ferrari.
Thank you.
Oh, Tina,
We have a phone call coming in. Hang on.
That's who I
that's
was
who
thinking.
you're thinking about.
Let's
told you I
take
got
the
half
call.
timers.
Thank you for calling Thoughts Count Anywhere, Sam. Welcome. We appreciate you taking time.
Hey, what's up?
How you doing? April's here for you.
Hey, buddy,
Oh.
we got Jersey in the
Hey.
house.
Aloha.
Aloha. Did we win the lotto yet?
Oh no, the mega is up to 850 million.
Good God.
He's gonna
Tonight-
sweep me
tonight-
off. That tonight is Powerball.
Tonight's the Powerball is 640 million.
What part of Jersey are you from?
Toms River, Ocean County.
I'm originally from Union County.
Wow.
I'm from
Yeah.
Hamilton Township.
We got Jersey
Well,
wrecked.
You want to trade? You can take our weather here, and I'll take your weather where you are.
No, that's why I'm no longer there. So
I'm gonna get him to California soon because we're gonna do a
Good.
Dodger game soon.
right on.
Yeah,
Right on.
so he's gonna
Yes,
get to
I wanna-
Cali
I wanna
eventually.
Go, I want to go to a Dodger game, and I want to go to a Laker game.
Yeah, we're gonna do some sports in LA.
Nice.
Yeah.
There you go.
So
Yeah.
good. So we'll
Yeah.
hope for some good Powerball numbers then.
Yes,
Did you
yes,
have a
and I just wanted
specific
to say-
question today?
Yeah, excuse me. I just want to say to everybody out there, April is one of the sweetest, nicest, kindest people you could ever meet. She is so nice, and if you get to meet her on Facebook or Facebook Messenger or whatever on Messenger, she is just so nice, and she's really what you see is what you get, and she's great.
Thank you, Sam. You're so sweet. I met him in Jersey.
Jersey.
And I just
Jersey.
I just want to say I know that we are still unfortunately deep in this COVID situation, and it's really, really unfortunate. But I just want to know what plans she has. I know she's got ideas, but I just want to know if she has any plans for things that upcoming that she has for when this situation does come to an end. And I just want to know if she has anything in the works.
Well,
Thank you, Sam, for calling. We're going to let you go, and then you can hear her answer off air if you don't mind. We have callers backing up. Thank you, Sam, for calling.
Thanks, Sam. I'll answer
Say
that.
hi to Jersey. Go ahead. I'm sorry. I didn't mean to cut you off, but
Right now with the COVID, we're hoping to get back on the road. Hollywood Lightning and myself do a lot of touring. I have had some opportunity with Scott Wilder Productions, and he manages like the Demolition and several other wrestlers and stuff. But they were hoping to get an all-female promotion event with all women for the first time, and so that's kind of maybe in the works if COVID cooperates sometime in May, and that's supposed to be, I believe, in Albany, but I'm not sure.
well, if you have any shows going on where you need like commentary actors and ring guys, you got a whole crew.
Yeah, I
sitting
got a
right
whole
here.
crew right here.
See, I was going to
Hey.
ask you if I could be your manager for
Oh,
one
well, you
show.
know what? I don't have a manager. I'm a manager. I manage Otto
I was-
Von Clutch.
I was gonna bring that up.
Yeah, he's actually right now he's in Texas, touring in Texas. So today
Right on.
actually he's in Arlington, Texas. So any of you Texans that are in Arlington, he's check my page on Facebook, and he's also on the 23rd of January he'll be in Fort Worth, Texas. So he's
Right
been
on.
in Utah and a couple other places. He lives in Vegas, but I know he's traveling. And when the COVID gets better,
That's a guy we gotta have
I'll be
on.
joining him on the road.
Right
but
on.
we were doing a lot of stuff before COVID, and then that kind of put a halt. He had been
Sure, everybody.
Yeah,
Everything.
so we'll see. But keep your eyes on my Facebook, and we'll post any upcoming events. We're hoping CAC in May. That starts April 25th, which is my birthday that week. So we'll see, guys.
Right on. So lots going on.
Yeah,
Chief,
lots
you have a
going on.
quick question before we go to the rant?
I don't.
Are you getting fired up for the rant? We're about a minute away.
Nope.
Are you ready? You have
I'm
a topic?
ready.
You're going to burn people?
I got no topic, but I got an idea.
Okay, I'll give you a minute.
That's worse.
He's got a whole week to prepare for this, and he waits for the minute of the segment.
I won.
That's okay. All right, so we are at the bottom of the hour, close enough. So what we're going to do, it is that time where Chief has something he needs to get off of his chest, and we lovingly call that Chief's Rant.
In the house with us. The bottom line is our answers today. I'm going to go back to creative writing real quick, but I'm really not. We brought up Tessa Blanchard, somebody did today, and I'm glad to hear it. When is the wrestling community, WWE, AEW, whoever, except for TNA, going to sign Tessa Blanchard? Now, it comes as a package deal, I'm sure, Tessa Blanchard and DACA. But I'm going to put my four fingers up, and I'm going to say eventually there's going to be 4 horsewomen. I hope. So WWE, if you're listening, you need to sign.
Sit back just a little. You're blowing up there. Your microphone, you're so hot.
I'm upset. Rightly so.
You killed the mic.
Thank you.
Sounds like you're next to the ocean.
So I want WWE to sign Tessa Blanchard, please.
Yeah.
Please sign her.
Get her out there.
More women need to be wrestling. And if you look at it on the WWE side, the AEW side, they don't get enough. So put the women on TV. The Chiefs Rant, over and out.
Well, there you have it. I
Damn.
think that microphone thing purposely happened so we can get closer to April. Did you notice that,
That
guys?
was it.
I mean,
That was it.
I think that was Vince cutting him off remotely.
Fuck Vince.
I know that's some
You
good
know,
shit right there.
I'm on the same
I didn't
page
say
with
that,
Chief.
fans.
The views of Chiefs rants are
my
solely
fans-
Chiefs and not that of Thoughts Count Anywhere.
The opinions expressed in this segment have nothing to do with the rest of the hosts. It's just to help. It's just to help keep Chief's blood pressure down. That's all that it is. It's simply for
Good luck
psychology.
with that.
I better go have a donut.
Go have a
Hey,
donut,
his
that's
mic
right.
works.
All right, before we get back to April and some more of the our topics here, I want to thank you all for watching Thoughts Count Anywhere, coming to you live from the G.L.O.W Vegas studios right here in the heart of Las Vegas, Nevada. Phone number 702-329-6947. Press 1 to come right into the studio, talk to April, give us your thoughts and comments no matter where you are. If you're outside the United States, 855-502-4321. Also press 1 to get into the studio. Don't forget, we still have the Hulk Hogan signed picture that is available in a drawing. All you need to do is go to thoughtscountanywhere.com. Click on the shop tab. Purchase just simply one piece of merchandise. Could be a mask, could be a hat, could be a shirt, t-shirt, sweatshirt. It doesn't matter for us. You do that. Send a copy of your receipt to us at what address, Matt?
info@thoughtscountanywhere.com.
Thank you very much. And you'll be automatically entered into our drawing for that Hulk Hogan picture. Right now, you'll see on that, see that, guys? I'm getting better at this. Right here, the QR code.
Only took you long enough.
Well, listen, practice makes perfect.
Bingo.
Practice makes, right, exactly.
Yeah.
So use that, scan it. It'll take it right to our website. Do it now. Piece of merchandise. Do it. More importantly, you do it now. Do it. It comes with a certificate of authenticity, so the autograph is signed. It's not Matt just with a marker, so we know it's good. All right. So with that, before we get back into the WWE, Matt, you have a favorite question that we ask all
Hey,
of
man,
our.
what the hell? You just cut me off.
You weren't there?
We got cut off with the question because of a phone call.
Oh, I'm sorry. Go ahead, Jason. Thank you for reminding me.
Throw a pin at your head. So, April, what was your favorite match?
Oh boy, there's two. I had that question asked recently.
Top
and I
number
would say,
one, and then
I would say my favorite was my first match because it was so new. It was exciting. We didn't know what to expect.
Okay.
It was after training with Mondo Guerrero, putting, the G.L.O.W spin on new wrestling for women, the tag team with me and Spanish Red against Americana and California Doll. And so that was always going to be, I think, an exciting match for me. But then I go to the match where I won the crown. And that was against Tammy Jones.
Okay.
And I feel really bad because I broke her lollipop and stole her crown. But everybody loves that match because she was such a goody-goody, and I was just the bully and the cheater, and I did everything I needed to. So that was like my favorite because, of course, ultimately, that's what you want. You want to win the crown or the belt or whatever.
if I look at it this way, and correct me if I'm wrong, if you don't have a drive, especially when you get into the business of wrestling, if your goal is not to go after a title, then what the hell are you doing?
Exactly? What's the point,
Yeah.
right? And so for me, I was lucky that my character just fell in my lap, and it was the whole island thing. Like everybody says, oh well, did they write your script and did they tell you how you were supposed to be and all of that? And I said, that was my character. I developed that character. Everything you see was my idea. They gave us a budget if we wanted to do character ideas, and so I built a pineapple hut. They gave me a little bit of a budget because we didn't have no prop department. I went to Home Depot or whatever it was back in those days, Ollie's or whatever, and I bought a trash can, and I bought bamboo, and I bought grass skirts, and I made this little pineapple hut and wheeled it into the ring, not the ring, but into the room, and I had pineapples all inside there, and then I was crushing pineapples, and that was just something that I thought of doing. And everybody says, well, was it up to you to do all the bad cheating and that? Yeah, it was me doing it. And then I got a lot of fans, and then they said, oh, we want to turn you to a face. And I said, are you kidding me? Could you see a baby face smashing pineapples and spitting in the crowd?
Jimmy
I said, never.
Snuka.
I said, never. I don't want to do that. So I refused. And that was kind of it. I said, nope. Bad girl.
Creative control at that time was very
Yes.
different than creative control
Yes.
now of character development.
Right.
So,
Hey, Aaron.
yes, sir.
My dad actually has a question.
Sure, fire away.
My father, April, asked this question to you. What was your worst injury in wrestling?
My back. I did fingers. I dislocated a shoulder. I twisted my ankle when I was wrestling barefooted at the
Okay.
beginning,
Right.
and then I chose to continue with boots. But I did play a second character that a lot of people don't know about. And so Sarah and Mabel were the hillbilly hooded characters, and I played the one that was in the white hood. And
Okay.
so when I played both, I wore the same boots sometimes because they were black and it went with both my outfits if I was in the same show and I had 2 matches with the different characters. So that was a match changing event to where I didn't wrestle barefooted anymore, but my back is what did me in. And so that's what actually finished everything, because I actually had to go back to LA and I had to see an orthopedic, and they basically told me, I mean, I was 21, 22, and they said, do you plan to have a family? And I said, well, what do you mean? They said, do you plan to have kids? And I said, well, I'd like to. I said, but I'm 21. And I ended up not having I didn't get pregnant till I was 33 years old. So it was still a long time, but they said, is that in the vision, in the future sometime? And I said, of course. And they said, well, then we don't suggest you go back.
For the
And
pressure on the back with
yeah.
it? Wow.
Yeah, so I have
Interesting.
3 bulge discs. So to this day, I mean, it was pretty bad to where I could not walk. I looked probably like an 80-year-old woman hunched over. I walked really very, very, very slow. And up to 2 years ago, this year has been really good for me, but that's because I started working out and everything and losing a lot of weight. But I had severe sciatica for like 2 years, just like this is 20 was last year, so like 2018 to 2020 or 2019ish, my sciatica was so severe that I couldn't sleep, I couldn't walk, I couldn't stand, I couldn't sit.
It's debilitating.
I mean, oh yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, the pain was incredible, and I'm not a painkiller pill popper. So I don't know how to say that.
Peter
but
Piper picked that pill popper,
pill
though.
popper. But yeah, so I really pretty much suffered with 24-hour chronic pain,
Jeez.
and I did acupuncture. I did physical therapy. I did finally get turned on to CBD with no THC, which saved my life. I swear on it, and I'm actually not even taking any now, but at the time, I also have fibromyalgia. I could not even close my hands like this.
Oh, wow.
I could barely, grip. I couldn't hold things. I couldn't hold a piece of paper between my fingers. So the combination of my back, the fibro, and everything else, I was a wreck. I mean, I could hardly move.
We could make a
So-
whole medical story. Chief?
Yeah, you could.
I want to flip it a little bit. What was it like working with David?
David McLean was a kick.
And who was David, for those who don't know?
Yeah, David McLean was the founder of G.L.O.W, and he was a 14-year, I want to say 14, I think is what he used to tell us, is he was involved in wrestling in Indiana from like the age of 14, was always going to the men's wrestling and was so excited about doing everything and anything he could do in wrestling at that time. And he just had this great idea of bringing women's wrestling to the forefront, and he had this idea that he wanted to make women's wrestling on TV. And so he had this great idea, but he didn't, I think he had like $25,000 or something, and said, I'm going to go to Hollywood and I'm going to try and cast this, which is what he did. He got our director, Matt Simber, who was a Hollywood producer, director, and they had a open call, and that's how I got involved. I was a pursuing actress, dancer, and model, and I got the call that said, hey, they're looking for all ethnicities. If you have athletic abilities, come on out. And my agent, I had one of the same agents as Danny Trejo from Machete, or now he's Danny
Machete.
Trejo Tacos and all those shows
Right.
and things that he's done. And then
He's in everything.
and then Tiny Lester, that just passed away,
right.
rest in
Yeah.
peace. And the three of us had the same agents in Hollywood back
Right
then, and we actually did an event in, I want to say it was 2019 in Rhode Island. We did the Rhode Island Comic-Con, and I now regret that I have pictures of the three of us. I have a picture of me and Danny Trejo, but I don't have one of the three of us. So
Right
I don't
on.
have one with Lester. But yeah, so I don't know. Did I answer the question?
Yep.
Okay.
Yep.
She
I
did.
appreciate it.
All right, Matt, let's. You have one final question specific to April.
Yeah, I usually ask all our guests the same end question.
That's why I left it to you.
Who's your Mount Rushmore of women's wrestling?
Oh, well, I kind of already said my Tessa thing, right?
So that's one.
We're okay with that one.
Okay, I'd have to go Charlotte.
Number
Charlotte
3.
Flair. How about I like Sasha. And then maybe Bailey.
Maybe I heard a maybe in there.
Yeah, maybe.
Anybody from old school though that would be on that Mount Rushmore?
You know what? I'm so into like current day. It's like, well, you know what? I would have to say only because let's include G.L.O.W. I would say Ivory.
Oh, there you go.
Okay, because she was our legend that came from G.L.O.W.
Right.
You know, and people
That's cool.
ask what other girls in G.L.O.W. Hollywood auditioned for WWF back in the day. Melissa. You know, Melissa. I know the other one that's very popular is Malia, right? Our Days. And so there's so many. And, you know, like I said, my memory is really bad. So it's like, you know, when I leave today, I'll go, oh, shoot, why didn't I say so-and-so? Why should I
That'll
say
just mean we'll
so-and-so?
have to have another
You
reason
know,
to have you back on the show.
It's crazy. But so those are some of them. But, you know, I mean, I'm proud to be able to say that we had a G.L.O.W. girl that became a Hall of Famer in WWE. Because, of course, for those that don't know, she was inducted into the WWE Wrestling Hall of Fame.
Right on.
I want to say it was 2018.
I think so. Yeah, it wasn't too
I
far back.
think so. You know, you can't quote me on facts, but and so you know that's kind of a little bit of touch on me, but
Right on.
what I like, you know.
So with that, what I'd like to do is we're going to step aside for what might be our final break of the show. But again, we have room at the top of the hour. If we have not done everything we want to do with April, we're going to stay until we get it done. Doggone it. And don't forget, we have our drawing for the Hulk Hogan picture happening right now on our TCA website. We'll get back to that in a second. But we want to thank you for watching. We'll be back in 60 seconds. Are you looking for someone to provide training to your sales staff? Do you need a motivational speaker about how to handle change? Do you have an upcoming event that needs an MC to handle those responsibilities? Well, look no further than longtime Las Vegas radio personality Aaron Phillips. I am local to Las Vegas and I can blend my talents with any audience. For more information, please visit www.aaronphillipsvoice.com and book me for your next event or training needs.
This is John Cena. I just wanted to send you a congratulations on your podcast. Thoughts count anywhere. Because indeed they do. Thoughts are important. I mean, what would we do without them? And how can they not count anywhere? Is there a place that thoughts don't count? I can't think of one. Well, I just wanted to say thank you very much, congratulations, and good luck on the podcast. Thoughts count anywhere, because they do.
All right, welcome back to Thoughts Count Anywhere, coming to you live from G.L.O.W Live Vegas Studios. Make sure you download the G.L.O.W Live Vegas mobile app. Take us on the go. You can do that right now in the store. Go Live Vegas. 3 separate words. Download the app and you catch all the live feeds when shows. If not, there's great music that plays on the station. Thank you for watching. All right. What was that?
You and your music commercial.
Well, no, I want to let people know that, there's a lot that goes on here 24/7 at Go Live Vegas.
Are
It's
you
all good.
sure?
Yes, I'm sure. All right. What I want to do is, guys, we got a lot to still cover that we want to cover, but I think we're going to try to abridge it and just really attack the ones that we want to touch on that are more important or more interesting. So I read this also. Nikki Bella says she wants to join the creative team. Yay or nay?
She's got a good mind for it, so I mean, she can do some things good. I mean, don't count her completely out. Her and her sister do have good creative ideas.
They do, and they're business women, so I'm
Out
for
of
it.
dating Daniel Bryan and John Cena, what would that be?
Well, let's see. They have their own. They have their own wine. They have their own clothing line.
As in the wrestling business.
Come on, Matt. Give them a little bit of credit, dude.
They're successful
Bully
business
Ray.
women. I know people have their opinion on whether they're
If a former
great
wrestler's going to be in a
wrestlers.
creative team, it's Bully Ray. Anybody else?
You're
Totally
stuck
agree.
on Bully
Yeah,
Ray.
that's all you're stuck on, dude.
But I agree
Watch
with
Busted Up.
I agree with you. Absolutely. I totally agree with you. Give him the pencil is what.
No,
they,
I don't. I don't have a problem. I agree with you, but like I said before in some of my rants and on here, wrestlers make the best creative writers.
Right.
Sure.
And I wanted to ask you, when we were talking about you wrestling, it sounded like you had all the creative freedom you wanted to make your matches, develop your segment in the wrestling.
Yes.
Today I see it. The wrestlers don't have it.
that. They don't have that.
So talk about
flexibility.
that for a
Well,
second,
you know,
if you would.
fortunately for me, besides playing Royal Hawaiian and Sarah, I was also the trainer for season 1. So the season I played, I had to train the girls with Americana, who was the other trainer. We also worked with the production staff, with the writers, the director, producer, to see what girls were developing who can not just do a tag team match, but an individual singles match. And some of them didn't even need any direction. They developed their character and they let us do that. That's what they really wanted us to do, was to feel comfortable and, you know, this is who you're going to be wrestling. Go for it. Well, how do you want to take this? What do you want to do? You know, we had the ability to do whatever we wanted, and they gave us that ability to. We came up with moves that we invented, you know. So it was like they didn't care. They wanted us to be as creative as we could. And I see what you're saying, and it's too bad that everything is so regimented and scripted that I think that's the one thing, like in talking to the wrestling fans that said they did prefer like watching us versus that. And I think that's maybe the key element that they're missing, is they don't have that freedom, the creative freedom to say, hey, this is where I want to take my character, not WWE, you know. So that's kind of a bummer, you know.
Speaking of creative, while we were on break, we've been failing to mention that a name came in.
Yes, and
well,
so
going back to our earlier question.
Yeah, so Olivia Munn is what someone wrote in and suggested as one of the actresses to play me. So I was like, wow,
That's
that was a
good.
great suggestion.
Yeah,
So
there you go.
yeah, so you guys never know. We might have an opportunity to do something like that. So shoot me those, you know, little suggestions and
Right
what
on.
have you. But also, well, you'll let me know when I'll have time to do a shout out or two.
Yeah, absolutely.
Okay.
Well, I want to get a couple of these in, then
Yeah.
we can ooh, I keep banging this damn arm over here. Big news from WWE, though, last Monday, Drew McIntyre announced that he was positive for COVID-19. We saw them pivot with Triple H and Orton to kind of make up for that headline stuff. But with that, we have a call coming in right now, so I will hold that thought. We want to welcome the caller. Thank you for calling, caller for TCA. Your name and where are you calling from?
Otto Von Clutch.
Wow,
Otto,
look
see?
at that. Hi, buddy. How's it going?
Great. How are you doing,
I'm
Royal Hawaiian?
good. Did you come on? Did you get to hear me talk about you? I'm
Yeah,
spreading
I
spreading
just
your
seen it
word.
on Facebook Live.
Okay,
yes.
good. So how you been doing? I see you.
Very good. Just got back from Texas.
Good. I hear you've been doing all kind of stuff. So I'm waiting
Oh.
for this freaking COVID to be done. I would
Oh,
love
me
to
too,
get
me-
on the road. And I saw your
I
little
know it.
saw your little doll come out, so I got to get one of those too. I said, I guess I got to make a Royal Hawaiian one, huh? A slam buddy.
Absolutely, absolutely.
I want to say that I had an opportunity to call a match or two when Otto's been in Vegas with Big Valley Wrestling and doing some of the events, and watching him in the ring is really something special, and I'm honored that I had the opportunity to call a match or two of yours here in Vegas, man.
Oh, thank you so much, man.
It's so good. So we want to appreciate you. We appreciate you taking the time and calling to say hello to your manager.
Yes, and I can't wait to see you again so we can crush some pineapples on some of your opponents, or a referee or two.
Absolutely, Royal Hawaiian, and I'll give you a call later on. I know you're in Vegas, and I'm in Vegas too, so we'll have to link
Okay,
up.
I'll give you a buzz.
Well, we'll
or
give you
call me.
we'll give you the address to the studio if you want to drive down right now.
Yeah, I'll be there, man. I'll
I
be
thought
there.
you
I'm
were
not here
gone.
off of Paradise Road.
I thought you were gone.
We're near Eastern and Sahara.
Oh, beautiful, man. I'm right down the road from there.
Right
I
on.
love it.
Maybe we can get you on the show sometime, Otto.
Yeah.
Hey, no problem. Anytime you guys want me to drop in, I'm totally down to hang out.
Right on. We'll
Ten, 10.
make that happen, brother. Thank you so much for calling in.
Okay, I'll be in touch.
Hey, take care.
Aloha.
All right.
Yes, April.
Be safe. Oh, that was cool.
Hi, Mike.
There you go. That was
nice
cool.
Surprise.
And-
I thought he was gone.
Right, and we
Donna.
mentioned his name earlier, so I'm
Yeah,
glad he had an
that was
opportunity.
good.
So let's go back. Drew McIntyre, COVID. Will it affect Royal Rumble? I mean, theoretically, his quarantining time should be up. They pivoted this Monday with Orton and Triple H and all of that, with the fireball with Alexa at the end, the whole thing, which I thought was a great pivot. Where do we stand with Drew? What do you think is going to happen from this point forward?
I'm terrified this is going to be WWE's excuse to put the belt on Goldberg.
Ugh, please. They better not. I'm going to be really pissed off.
I am
So
so
everybody
glad
else.
to hear her fucking say that.
I
I love it.
you know what? Don't get me crushing pineapples here.
How do you really feel?
Shit. You know what? Why did they even bring him back? That was just a joke.
That was the question we all had
That was
last
just
weekend.
an absolute joke. When
We
that,
had-
when that happened, I was like, Are you serious?
We had a listener last week mention that he is under contract for 2 years with 2 matches a year.
so he has.
But his return on that Legends night got really disjointed with his promo because they were running long on time, and they cut McIntyre's promo off where he was going to disparage some of the Legends. That's why when Goldberg comes out and says, "How dare you talk about the Legends?" everybody's like, "What the hell are you talking about?"
You know,
So-
I like Drew a lot.
Oh, I love that.
And I respect him.
Oh,
I got to ask the question.
We may have the answer.
Is it a work? Or does he really have COVID?
No, I think it's real.
no, I think so too.
I think it's real.
I don't know that he would have done that right now in this
I
time
don't.
with what's
I don't
going
think.
on.
I don't think he would, but I think the
Well,
powers.
based on- oh,
I don't
yeah,
think.
that's true.
I think the powers to be, especially the crazy guy at the top, right now would do anything.
Chief, I don't think Hunter would let
I
Vince
hope
go.
not.
I don't think Hunter would let Vince go that far because prime example of that, and I want to touch on this, Aaron, if you don't mind.
Go ahead.
Cross, Karrion Cross, he got injured on his shoulder, and it was a true injury. And Cross is still able to do what he wants to do on his own time. So I think Hunter is sitting there going, Vince, shut the fuck up.
I hope so. And
I
mean
wish it
that.
wasn't real because I don't want the COVID, wished upon anybody.
exactly.
And you hope that he has a mild case of it and what have you. But I just can't imagine that he would go for that. Like
As far as
where
his career-
current day and what's going on right now.
Well, not only that, especially how far his career is right now and how high up he's going.
Yep.
Speaking of which, I'm watching him right now
Yeah,
on
we
TV.
are, huh?
On the,
Well, this was last week's Raw that
Yeah.
that
And
Aaron is so kind to record for us.
Matt, what do you think?
that was an awesome one too.
I think that since they haven't announced literally anybody else has had it, and there's rumored like 3 other major stars either have or had it, I think they're going to turn this into some kind of storyline that like he couldn't train properly or he hasn't fully recovered yet, and Goldberg's going to win the freaking title at the Royal Rumble.
One of my fans says fake COVID, bad idea.
I'm just concerned with because of how COVID is.
Thanks, Stephanie.
Hey Garth, good to see you, buddy. I hope everything went well this week. With all the scares and all the issues they have already had at the Performance Center, what they now call Capital something. I would.
Capital something.
I don't remember what it is.
Capital Wrestling Center.
There you go. The Performance Center. I don't want. I prefer to be very. I would be very, very disappointed if this is a work because
Yeah.
with COVID and all the.
It's not something to mess with.
With all
Come
that's
on.
going on, you have to, even in Vince's crazy mind, there has to be the devil and the angel's telling him, Vince, don't cross that line. Not with COVID, not with everything, not with lives lost and everything
He
else.
doesn't know what that line is anymore.
I know.
Yeah,
but-
you would think he would have a little bit of common sense.
Well, look at what happened with the whole limo incident. When he was supposedly blown up in the limo, and then right after the whole thing with Benoit, and then he comes back and goes,
Just kidding,
just
I'm
kidding,
right
I'm right here.
Right, exactly. All right. All right, so Drew McIntyre hopefully will be back. Hopefully it's not a work, and
Yeah.
we wish him well if it is not. Now, Lita, interesting story broke with Lita
Yes.
that she says that in an interview she was threatened to be released if she didn't participate in the live sex wedding celebration against Edge. As we have a phone call. Oh, it looks like it's Vince McMahon. No,
Vince.
caller.
It's such good shit.
Caller, caller, thank you for calling Thoughts Count Anywhere. Your name and where you're calling from, please. Hello?
Goodbye.
It was.
Hello,
See, you
goodbye.
scared him
You
away
are
with
the
the good
weakest
shit.
link.
So, you are the weakest link. Hopefully that person will call back. We'll bring him back on if
Aaron,
they do.
to hit on the Lita
Yeah.
thing,
Yep.
it was also in that interview that both John Cena and Edge both were like, no, Vince,
Yeah.
no, we don't want to do it.
Right.
And so with even John and Edge saying no and Vince not listening to them, that I agree 100% that it should not have gone that far to threaten her job over something so stupid. April, what do you think about that?
I agree. You know, I mean, I get it. Vince is the head man, but no pun intended, but but you know what?
Don't bend over, Vince.
But I agree. I mean, why does he have to go that far? You
Right.
know, I just don't think it's good, honest, as
Whatever
honest,
shred is left,
whatever,
right?
yeah, whatever is left within the wrestling industry, to have that kind of BS, you know,
Right.
and.
I just want to let our listeners know, I'm sorry, we are approaching the top of the hour. We are going to continue on for a little bit longer because we still have a lot we want to cover and continue visiting with April. You are watching Thoughts Count Anywhere. We appreciate you sticking around. Yeah, so go ahead. I'm sorry. Finish your
Alex,
thought on
hi.
that.
No, just that I think, like just with this thought of the Drew McIntyre, and
Right.
I mean, why would he cross the line with, like you said, the seriousness of the COVID and not even wanting to touch or go
Right.
there, So
Exactly.
some of it I think is unreasonable, even though I know, yes, it is, he is the man and all of that, but I just think there's, a time and a place, and some of it is, I know he does, and a lot of people don't
Right
agree
on.
with it.
You
But
know, I wonder, and I'm going to make this one short. I wonder if Linda could just tell him to shut up, looking at her career, where she's been. She just needs to tell him to shut up.
Maybe that's where it's coming from. A little more control from Linda. All right. Just a couple of headlines. I'm just going to read them. They're just more newsworthy. WWE is trying to push back the date for WrestleMania to April 18th in hopes of having fans in attendance. We have some Royal Rumble things on here, but we're still, 2 weeks out from Royal Rumble? Let's roll that to next week. Sasha Banks was named number 1 on Sports Illustrated Top 10 Superstars last 2 weeks ago they named that. Let's see. MSK debuts on NXT. They were formerly Rascals in Impact Wrestling. All right, before we go on with the last couple of pieces, you had a couple of shout-outs, Miss April, you wanted to do.
Actually, I just saw my cousin, Marilyn. Hi. I went to watch, and I went dancing with her and her dancing group yesterday in North Las Vegas. So, hi. Just wanted to wish Manny, one of our super fans in San Diego, a happy birthday. Ha'ole lahanau. And also Lynn. My friend Lynn is the reason I'm here, besides coming to see you, is it's Lynn's birthday this week, and so we're having a birthday weekend for Lynn. So happy birthday, Lynn.
Right on.
Crazy night.
If she's parked outside still waiting
she
for
might
you,
be outside, and if you are,
come
you
in the
can come
studio.
in.
Absolutely.
But you should have took a shower last night.
Oh, my goodness.
And that's a sidebar.
All right, on that note, let's ring the bell. Let's save April.
I put deodorant on.
Not
That's
you.
right.
Oh.
It's an inside joke from last night.
Two quick things via AEW or Impact. The announced team at Impact, D'Lo Brown and Matt Stryker, are now taking over for commentary on Impact. Thoughts, gentlemen?
Thank God.
Dang. I guess we won't see Josh Matthews watch the NFL playoffs instead of
That
watching
was
the stupid
still
monitor.
so funny.
That was one of the dumbest things I've ever seen in like a live professional wrestling.
You and I were both sitting right behind him and saw.
I was talking so much shit. Like I was waiting for him or Callis to turn around. Because like literally his whole monitor was covered by the stupid Packers game.
Well, and Callis had the brown
It was
paper
a-
bag down by his ankle anyway.
Oh my gosh.
It was a stupid Packers game, is right.
There you go. All right, tonight is the Hard to Kill pay-per-view. Any thoughts, comments, and anything going on with that you guys want to throw in there?
No.
Kind of interesting that Moose is replaced in the main event because I don't know what happened to Alex Shelley, but he says he couldn't be there, so maybe he got COVID or something. But
Okay.
good for Moose, I guess.
Can I revert back to the last one?
Sure.
Real quick.
Yeah.
I guess AEW and TNA's having is working formally together now. That's why Callis is on with
Right.
what's
Kenny
his-
Omega.
With Omega. Omega don't need him though. Never has needed him. I guess Callis needs a job. So what's Josh Matthews going to do in the scenario?
Well, he's from what I read in that same article, they're going to keep him backstage as producer, for whatever that's worth.
Thank you.
What Impact should have done is put somebody from like AEW on the team as like a huge surprise. Be
Right.
Like, oh, here's a mystery opponent, and it was like Cody or something.
Sorry.
Real quick question.
Yes.
Sam Weissman is asking us on the panel, do we think Becky will be back before Mania?
Oh,
I think she'll
Somebody-
come back and rumble.
Rumble.
Probably
I-
Rumble, yeah.
I thought wow, I didn't expect her to come back so soon.
Yeah, they just had the baby in December,
yeah,
right?
so I mean, I thought maybe about 6 months, and then when I heard
Yeah.
she's thinking about already now, and I'm like, wow, because that's going to be a beating on her body so soon,
Absolutely.
But
Absolutely. Chief?
hey, good for her.
Well, I just asked Matt because my Halfheimer's kicked in. I wonder if both of them are going to come back.
I was
at
just
the
gonna
same
say
time.
Seth probably is gonna come back too.
But, I mean, it would
I
be
would have
logical.
thought him come back first and her give her a little bit more time,
Right.
but
They
who knows?
advertised
Maybe
him-
they're going to make it together.
Who knows?
They advertised him like 2 weeks ago,
Right.
and then they pulled the plug on it like 3 days before SmackDown.
So
Right.
I think they want to bring him back at the same time.
That's what I'm thinking too. But I was surprised that she was going to want to come back so soon.
I got some people on like message boards or something. They're like, "Well, why wouldn't Seth come back at like sooner than Becky?" And I was like, "Well, she kind of went through something, and he kind of prematurely did something that didn't really do anything to his body.
A little bit.
Just cost WWE a bunch of money. Cause
That's all. So now what would Becky Lynch's new T-shirt be? I'm the man mom? Or the mom man?
The mom man.
I don't know. Anyway, all right. Before we go into pop culture and we wrap the show up, we want to thank April for hanging out with us a little longer.
Thank you for
and
having
everybody
me.
for hanging in there. We're going to go to some birthdays for the upcoming week. All right, this is from today to next Friday. I'm just going to throw names out and dates. Ted DiBiase, the $1 Million Man on the 18th. Batista, who put a $20,000 bounty out on the individual who did something to a manatee down in Florida. Something happened. I didn't see what happened, but he's added $20,000 to the pot there. Mark Briscoe, the 18th. Pat Patterson, who just passed away, the 19th. R-Truth, Tyler Breeze. Carl Anderson on the 20th. Polish Power, Ivan Putski on the 21st. Maurice on the 21st. Tully Blanchard, father thereof of said Tessa. Just going to quickly go through these. Honky Tonk Man on the 25th. Michelle McCool on the 25th. Jay Briscoe. Mark Adams on the 25th. Road Warrior Hawk on the 26th. What's today's? I got to get to. Okay, that's it. I think today's the 16th, 7th, 23rd. I went into the 25th. There you go. I can't read a calendar.
Shad
the
Gaspar.
one
I was getting there. Shad Gaspar also.
Would have been 40 to
Yeah.
What a
Yesterday.
hero. Absolutely a
Yeah.
hero. And of
That was
course,
so sad.
show me the money. Shane O'Mac celebrated a birthday this week as well. This
50
past
Prodigal son.
51? Is that what he is?
51.
51. Wow. All right. So we want to wish everybody in the WWE wrestling world or whoever having a birthday, and of course, all of you out there who are celebrating a birthday up in this upcoming week, we do want to wish you a happy birthday. Okay. With that, it's time we're going to wrap up with some pop culture topics. This is why our thoughts count anywhere, because you never know where we're going to go. So, Matt, why don't you take the first one there, sir?
Sure, Mark Stone was named the captain of the Golden Knights, which after 3 years, they finally named a captain, and you can't really name a goalie the captain. It should be Fleury, honestly, but
I agree with you, Matt, on that one, just because the fact is Mark Stone came into the team not with the inaugural team, and you had Fleury, you had Marchessault could have been a captain.
Just so you know,
Like-
goalies can be named captains.
oh, they can.
And they have.
Oh, okay.
See, that's coming from a hockey expert. When we talk hocky, Aaron's all
Wasn't
over.
Jonathan Quick a
Canadian.
captain?
What's that?
Wasn't Jonathan Quick a captain there, Aaron?
That was
Okay.
Dustin Brown. Was the captain of the.
I don't know a
Kings.
lot about hockey. I was back in the Kings day, like back in the Charlie Sims, back that far long ago.
There you go.
I'm not really.
Well, they opened up with a
Not too
win
much.
this week. So
That was good.
So I don't know. Did they play last night? For some
The
reason,
night before.
it was
Night
Thursday
before.
night. Okay,
They
so
play
they
tonight.
they played tonight. So they did open up with a win, which is good. We'll see what happens because they made a lot of changes this year in personnel.
But I think Van Beesbrook was a captain, if I'm not mistaken.
From the Rangers, yeah,
I believe so.
I believe he was. All right, Jason, why don't you take the second one?
Chris Evans returning as Captain America in the Marvel Universe.
Any surprise there? I mean, they were talking
Not at
about
all.
John Cena maybe at one point taking over for
No,
him.
no,
Huh?
no, no, no.
Yeah, his name.
No.
His name early on came up, but obviously this is the right choice.
I don't.
He made the
I
character.
couldn't see John Cena now.
No.
As much as I'm a fan of
All right.
John's, I
Me
just
too. I like him too,
So-
but I don't think.
I
I
can't-
don't think I can't see him doing that either.
I have to share a funny moment about John Cena. Last night, my wife and I were watching Total Bellas this past week, where they had the babies.
Right.
So Nikki is about to deliver the baby, and she says to Art, I wonder
Artem.
who the baby's going to look like. So I turned to my wife and I said, wouldn't it be funny if the baby comes out looking like John Cena? then she had trouble delivering the baby. It took 2-3 hours. And so I said, you know why it took so long, right? She goes, why? I said, because they couldn't see the baby.
Oh my God.
Even my wife laughed at
And
that
guess
shit.
what? 3 hours is nothing.
I know.
I was in active labor for 54 hours.
54?
54
Holy
hours.
crap.
That's 3 days. And then they finally did a C-section. So
Scott
3
Hosey's
hours.
chiming in. I'm sorry, that goalies cannot be captains, so we'll have to verify. All right, so
I'm
Scott,
checking right now.
I was going to say, Scott, you could take it up with Aaron E. He's got it. He says yes, you say no. That'll be a topic for another discussion. Okay, Chief, why don't you take the third bullet there?
Mark Davis, owner of the Las Vegas Raiders, is buying the Las Vegas Aces from
The WNBA?
the
Oh, yeah.
WNBA.
I was very surprised when I saw this because there was nothing going on in the news that I saw prior to the announcement.
No, I didn't see anything either, but I know the company he bought it from definitely needs capital. So
Well, and maybe because his Raiders lost. He needs another
could be
interest.
too.
Sorry, Annette.
Jason,
Aaron, I have the thing right here.
Okay.
Goaltender captains in NHL history. There have been 6 goaltenders who served as official team captains. John Ross Roach of the Toronto St. Patrick's, 1924-25 season. George Hansworth, Montreal Canadiens, 1932-33 season. So there's been, out of the 6, there's 2 they mentioned.
As of recently, it says goalies have been banned from becoming captains in the NHL in 2014.
Yep.
So, Aaron, your Canadian citizenship has been banned.
Someone is saying the New Jersey Devils.
I know I'm number 1, thank you.
Lynn, if you're watching, come inside.
Martin Brodeur was the goalie there. So Scott he puts in here, he says, Bill Dunham, Durnan of the Canadiens was the last goalie to wear the C on his sweater when he captained the Habs in 47-48. After that year, the NHL ruled that the goalies could no longer serve as captains because it was too disruptive to the game for a goalie to skate in for an official ruling, relay that to the bench, and return to the crease. Neither can goaltenders serve as alternate captains. In all, 6 NHL goalies were named captains of their clubs before the rule change. Then he quotes Rule 6.1 in the rule book.
thank you for
All right.
heightening my awareness.
Mr. Rules.
Then I apologize.
Anyway, let us go back to. I think it's a good move. That I think now, since he was able to buy it, I think it's safe to say Mark Davis in the city of Las Vegas
Damn you,
is.
Scott.
His name's not Scott.
Mark Davis is becoming a staple. He's getting anchored here. He bought the Raiders here. They did not have the season they wanted. They had a beautiful stadium that no one can get into. So it's a little bump. But I think the connection now of Mark Davis as an entity now owning the WNBA team here, the Aces, I think it's a good thing.
I think the one advantage Mr. Davis, I hope, will have for the women's team is he will spend some money
Right.
Yeah.
on them.
Right.
Whereas a corporation who had
Bottom line to worry about.
exactly
Yep.
Well, look
wasn't spending
look at how
money.
well they've done. They've been in the playoffs twice, and then the finals Matt once.
Yeah.
So
Someone can just send Mark Davis to a hairdresser. Jesus Christ, that guy.
Where did that come from?
Out of the blue.
Is it,
That's funny. He's got like the haircut of like a
well, he's
a geopet.
picked on like
That's funny.
6th grader.
he models his hair after Trump.
Oh, no, I see. I was hoping nobody would mention that name. Okay.
That's an insult to the.
Real quickly before we wrap up, and I'll do the last one on pop culture here. Sam Weissman, I don't know how we turned into a sports
Again.
show here. He mentions that Dr. Dre is out of the hospital recovering from his brain aneurysm, and no, he's not a doctor. Okay. But he does ask, are the Brooklyn Nets for real now that they've got James Harden from Houston?
Absolutely.
Not if Kyrie Irving doesn't get his head out of his ass.
Really?
How do you really feel, Aaron?
Absolutely.
I don't do that very often, but
I know you don't.
They still got to get past LeBron and the Lakers, and that ain't
That's
happening.
right. You're absolutely right.
That will be a good series.
Purple and gold.
That will be a good series.
all right, as we wrap up today's show, there have been this past week here in Las Vegas 2 notable passings of individuals that really were part of the fabric and continue to be the fabric of the growth of Las Vegas. First of all, one of the best showmen that ever appeared on the stage with Roy Horn, Siegfried.
And Roy.
Bacher. Why am I blanking on his last name?
Fischbacher.
Fishbacher. Thank you. He passed away this week. Roy Horn passed away last year after having some COVID issues.
There we go on the screen.
Yeah. Oh, thank you. So Siegfried and Roy spent, I don't know, what, 20, 30 years at Monte Carlo. They have the lion habitat and everything's still there. The Mirage.
Lynn just got her
Yeah.
picture taken with him in October.
Oh, perfect.
By a fluke.
Oh, well, there you go. Now she's got a memory that
I got
that
a
is worth
crazy
something.
quick
Yeah.
story about him.
Please,
Real quick.
yeah.
My grandma worked in the medical field forever, and she goes, "I have to give Siegfried a shot, and I have to go to their house. Can you drive me over there?" And I was like, "All right." So we get over there. We're in the house, and they're like, "Oh, don't mind all the animals." So she's sitting there, like, went into the other room to give him a shot, and I was just standing in the living room, and, like, this big furry thing, like, rubs against my leg, and I was like, "Oh, what kind of dog do they have? Holy God, that's a tiger."
Holy
Jeez.
moly.
Wow.
That's
I thought I was
very
going to die
cool.
that day, for sure. But I was like, where's the tiger that mauled? Because he actually didn't get mauled. He had a seizure on stage.
got bit.
And the
tiger.
tried to, like, pick him up by the nape of his neck, like,
Right.
to help him. But since we don't have that,
Right.
it went through his neck.
Yeah.
But that tiger was still in the backyard, and they're like, we're not going to put him down. He didn't do anything to
Right.
him, really.
He was
Right.
trying to save him.
Well, that's.
Yeah.
I mean, that's. I did not know that. That's an interesting piece to know about the lion doing that. That's good. All right, last piece of news that I want to cover. Of course, someone who was part of this fabric and development on the Strip, many other areas, including initially being part of the group that was going to help bring the Raiders here. Sheldon Adelson passed away this past week as well. You know, his properties on the Strip, his involvement, his wife of 30-something years. Originally from Israel, she now takes over the $24 billion empire, basically, as a managing individual. Sheldon Adelson is being laid to rest in Israel as well, but when all things settle, when that happens, they do plan on doing some sort of memorials and stuff here in Las Vegas. The Strip's casinos had marquees with his picture and whatnot to salute him, and I'm sure when they make the plans to honor him here in Vegas, that will come out in the news as well.
I read yesterday that he has been buried over in Israel.
Right. Oh, yeah. So he's already okay. I wasn't sure what the timetable was,
Yes, sir.
but so he has gone back to Israel, and now we'll just see what Las Vegas will do to honor a man who brought a lot to Vegas and helped develop a lot of things in Vegas, not just the properties on the Strip, but he's been involved in a lot of things, and he'll be missed dearly here in Las Vegas. Okay, with that, hey, it's been a fun show. I hope you had a good time.
I had a good time.
Please come back.
Yes.
Anytime you let me know. I'm really close by.
We want you in
hey,
studio.
we got Cheryl. Lightning is on. Hi,
Lightning.
Yeah,
Who's
that was Lynn's birthday is Monday. It's coming up.
Right on.
And then I had Christopher was on. Christopher, thank you for sending me my book. I have a fan that sent me a nice spiritual book to lift me up because
Right
I was
on.
kind of going through some hard times. But thank
No
you guys.
worries. Thank you, guys. Matt, final thoughts on our way out.
Everybody be safe. Have a good week.
Chief.
Wear your mask, wash your hands, and sanitize.
Yep.
Jason.
Be safe. Wear your mask. That's it.
Okay. Just a quick reminder, stay tuned at the top of noon to 1 p.m. Neil Portnoy and I will be right back here with twin brothers from different mothers. Today's guest, Ronnie Lee Twist. He's a Johnny Cash tribute artist as well as an author. He wrote a book saying this is the self-help book for all those who don't like self-help books. Sounds like an interesting twist. All right, that'll do it for Thoughts Count Anywhere. We'll see you next time. As I always like to say, be kind to each other. Why is that? We're all we have. Thank everybody for watching. Be safe. We'll see you next week.
Aloha.